Good evening, fellow ghouls and specters alike. Your ghost host with the most here, Tiki.
And BlueDragonFive, here to engage in some haunted holiday hijinks by trudging through the catacombs and dusting off the cobwebs as we recount our spooky selection of Halloween classics.
So light the jack-o'-lantern, suit up, and grab the candy dish as we revive and recount tonight's selection, the Goldbergs, Stefan King. Maniacal laugh.
Feed me, Seymour.
Oh man, oh man. So Dragon, you and I, of course, we kind of we fell in love a little bit with this weird little ABC retro 80s throwback show called The Goldbergs, mainly because, as we've already established, the woman who plays the mother Beverly in this show, basically Jewish Vera Farmiga.
And it's great.
I mean, this woman has so much Farmiga charm, and of course, folks, we don't want to harp on the Farmiga-isms all day here, but I mean, I don't know, like...
It's 80s Farmiga.
There's some characters in the show I like more than others. For example, I think this episode, since it focused... In this episode, I think focused a little too heavily on the Erica character, who I think is probably the most bland out of the main family members. But having said that, of course, we love Barry. We've already loved Barry from the Christmas special we talked about. And I definitely think Beverly is kind of like the heart of the show and kind of the big magnet drawing point to it. So overall, Dragon, even though you and I haven't watched a ton of this show, we both very much enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Dragon, this Halloween special, I believe this is one of a couple Halloween specials. What made you go to this one in particular?
Oh, you know, Tiki, just the climate of what the kids today are really raving over.
You know, it's odd. Like, a couple years ago, Stephen King sounded, you know, he seemed like such a washed-out thing, you know what I mean? Like, he hadn't had a successful movie in years, all his books were flopping, and now, suddenly, he's got, like, one of the highest-grossing movies of the year, so, you know, what do you know? Anyways.
But I'll tell you what clinched it, though. The misery of it all really clinched it for me. That's what evolved, and that's like, okay, Stephen King, yeah, it's topical, but then just the misery of it all, like all the things they're pulling from, it makes all the sense in the world. It's like, yes, I want to see how this turns out.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we start out?
Let's see. We have young Adam Goldberg. He is reflecting on Stephen King's novels. Now, take it. This is really a neat little. We always have, from what I understand, we always start the Goldberg episodes like this. Of course, we always set kind of the 1980s something environment, which basically whatever the 80s theme, whatever kind of culture, kind of cultural touchstone from an era from a year in the 80s we are pulling from. We kind of set the episode. We kind of set the climate at the time with like a little sequence like this. Where basically we see Adam fall in love with the Stephen King novels and his local library. Plug for the local library, by the way. Yeah. And we see this great little montage of him reading through the books, and I got to say, it's a really nice testament to kind of what Stephen King's all about. You know, young people, just people in general, just reading books and enjoying them, and he really turned. He had like a really.
Stephen King is kind of like the next level up from someone like R.L. Stein.
Yes,
where it's like young people can get into him, even though his work is very mature.
Yeah, exactly. I think you hit it right there, Tiki. And of course, we have some great tonal stuff here. We have like this cool display set up for Halloween, and we have the great montage of books. Because as Adam states, you know, King was releasing a whole slew of books almost every week,
and he still does.
Yep. So we get. Let me list a few here. We got Cujo, which has a really interesting story, by the way, behind it. But we don't have time to get into that. We have Cujo, Salem's Lot, Carrie. The Shining, everyone likes The Shining. It.
Oh yeah.
And everyone's and Adam's favorite, Misery.
So the thing that to me that will always stand out about Cujo is how it's referenced on Friends.
Really?
I believe it's. I want to say it's Joey. It might be Chandler, but I want to say it was Joey.
Like a Chandler pool, I gotta tell you. But go on.
Okay, it could be Chandler, but one of them was just absolutely terrified by the Cujo movie. I want to say it was Joey. Like, I'm pretty sure it was like one of the things that Joey and Rachel bonded over in like the season 9, season 10 era.
Yeah, back when we don't have the you don't have the guts to get Joey and Rachel together. You know they.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Was the Legion of Ross and Rachel fans with pitchforks and torches. If
right.
you make her end up with Joey, we'll storm the TV.
Anyway, so this is the 80s, not the 90s.
Right. So. Okay, so the reason Adam, of course, loves Misery, and again, I love the logic behind this. He relates to the dominating woman holding the writer, the creative writer, captive to tell her story, which is going to have a lot to do with this episode. And of course, we then go to Beverly, being the domineering, lovable, Farmiga-esque 80s mother here, as Beverly is reminding Adam about the fact they're going underpants shopping. Don't forget Schmoopalump. It's she has all these cutesy names for him. I can't keep track of them. It's like Schmoopy, but it's like Schmoopalump, whatever. We're going underpants shopping. Now, I remember you saying that. I remember not agreeing to it. So basically, he's reluctant, and we have, of course, she brings up the underoos. Are you telling me you're too big for underoos? Batman underoos.
Perks up. He's like, no one is too big for underoos.
Of course, Batman underoos in this case, but yeah, folks, for the kids today, let me remind you, underoos is not another word for Spider-Man. Okay, underoos, it was a fad in which you can get T-shirts and you would have matching kind of underwear on the outside. It was a fad back in the day, and which is why Tony Stark thinks it's all the rage today. Anyway, so basically she's going to scrapbook the bad underoos because he's in high school now, he doesn't need them. So it's just we get a little taste of the obsessed mother.
Yeah, and then she does the kissy monster thing on him, and then I want to highlight something, Dragon. I want to highlight a moment that is just like it's a blink and you miss it moment, but it's just super adorable. Is after she leaves after the first kissy monster bit, she like does a little like turn and scare in the hallway, and then leaves and laughs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like, Farmiga School of Acting, folks.
Yep.
But yeah, so essentially,
like,
Adam.
Oh my god, this woman is just priceless.
So essentially, just to give a little bit of context, Adam is inspired by one of his new favorite writers, Stephen King. He wants to write a horror. He wants to write a horror story, but he has no inspiration. Enter. Also, I love the old the old Apple computer. I think it's an Apple computer. Was it a Mac or was it Mac? Darn it.
I have to go back and look.
The point is, he's all working on the old computer. Anyway, so then he deals with the kissy monster attack, and there he has his inspiration, and I love this term, my horrifying smother. It's the perfect name. Like Norman Bates should have adopted that term.
Oh, God.
My horrifying smother. And the kissy monster returns. It's a cute gag.
All right, so then we get into, like I said, kind of my least favorite part of the episode, which honestly is probably because I get the feeling this is built on like, hey, we're going off of last season's relationship drama.
Yeah, that makes sense. And again, folks, that's the double-edged sword, just kind of jumping into the Goldbergs at random. We probably would get, again, I don't want to hold against you, but for us, we'd probably get the full experience if we watched it from the beginning.
Right.
So this is important to set the 29th. So it's not Halloween night quite yet. So it's 29th. There's a Halloween dance that is approaching at Erica's school. Here's the one thing we should remind the folks in case we were lost on this. Erica is friends with Lainey, and Lainey is the girlfriend to Barry. So that's the arc they built up. Like, she had a friend, then Barry kind of fell for her. And
then I think more importantly, though, in this episode is I believe his name is Jeff.
Yes, yeah, that's the thing. Tiki and I completely lost.
I get the feeling like that was a whole big deal in season 3, and
yeah, we don't get the intermediary politics of school romances and
sure. I mean, Dragon and I might be experts on the politics of Friends through all 10 seasons, but
and remember the monkey.
Oh God,
always going to be remembered for the monkey, Tiki.
Anyway,
we were on a break. The break and the monkey. Anyway, back on point. So, essentially, her Erica's friends. You get a sense it's kind of like a friends of yours, kind of like you kind of grew up with and you kind of stuck with, even if you don't want to be friends with them anymore. It's kind of a sense I get with Erica, and kind of her romantic rivalry with the other girl. Ava was it? I get their names.
Abby, I think.
Yeah, it's an abbreviation for. I got it down here. We'll have it on it momentarily. So, yes, basically her friends are doing couples costumes from Little Shop of Horrors. As Seymour and God, Seymour and the girl.
I want to say it's
No,
Audrey.
she's Seymour and. Yeah, Seymour and Audrey, right.
Yeah, not an expert on Little Shop.
Evie. The girl's name is Evie, by the way. The point is just doing the.
Oh, Evie. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's Seymour and Audrey. So yes, Evie. Evie is asking who Erica's taken. Erica, of course, she's on the spot. She is, she looks to Lainey's cousin Nate. Basically, says, "Oh yes, I'm going with Lainey's cousin Nate." Of course, Lainey's completely in the dark about this, but Erica's rolling with. Yeah, she rolls with it. She kind of rolls with the lie, and of course, obviously, Lainey's probably going to inform Barry this. Cut to the next scene. Barry is now mocking Erica.
Oh, he is so pleased with himself.
Yeah, he's lording this over her head after all the years of her mocking Barry for being alone, not yet having a girlfriend before he met Lainey.
This is me rejoicing in your social failures.
And of course, we get like a little sampling. He basically kind of regales us with all the ways she had mocked him, like with Soxanne.
Spreading the rumor about dating the lunch lady. Doris was just a friend.
Oh, I love that.
I love how passionate he is about it.
He's defending the lunch lady so steadfastly.
Like the lunch lady it sounds like a Hey Arnold episode. You know what I mean? Like spreading the lunch lady.
You know what actually brought to mind, Tiki, again, is on the Captain Underpants DVD, on the DVD set. Kirsten Shaw. She did this little hilarious PSA about, and it was a nice PSA. It was a genuine PSA, basically, where she just said, "You be nice to the lunch lady."
Nice.
That's kind of brought that to mind a little bit. Anyway, so then Erica kind of pathetically, she realizes, "I'm the Barry." She realizes that she is the Barry. Basically, she is in the original Barry shoes, being single, alone, and kind of social outcast, I guess.
And then this is great. I love how Barry is just like, wait a minute. You're the Barry? That's not what being the Barry means. Don't feel sorry for yourself for being me.
He's very offended by just the terminology of the Barry. Meanwhile, Bev is...
I am the Barry, but in a good way.
Barry's a barrel of laughs is what he is.
He is.
So, Bev, meanwhile, is she's carving a pumpkin. She found basically she's telling Adam, "I found your little story."
We should probably keep track of the tropes, by the way, because this is a proper Halloween episode.
Yes.
So pumpkin carving is one.
Yes.
Writing scary stories.
Mm-hmm. Halloween dances. Yes.
Yeah.
I know giant carnivorous plants that are kind of scary. I guess.
Couples costumes.
Yes.
Like creative handmade costumes in general.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's about it.
Take it down, folks. There will be a quiz at the end of this. So,
we're not joking.
No, come on. Let's not torture the poor people out there. So, Bev is carving the pumpkin. She found Adam's little story. And of course, leads to this great line. I just want to remind you, likenesses living or dead, big-haired and blonde are surely coincidental.
Right.
And basically, she kind of cuts him off there, saying, "I thought it was," and as the frig of it all here, amazing. and this to me, oh god, it's the whole Stefan King.
It's as good, if not better, than Stefan King himself.
Actually, Stephen King. I'm pretty sure Stefan King.
I love how she's tickled by the middle initial.
Yeah, the Adam F. Goldberg. Yeah, of course, there's another Adam who has a beard. I didn't want to be confused with, adding the F in there.
So we get a great transition where Adam's like, well, she's like, oh, we should send it off to Stephen King. Well, maybe I should work on it first. Okay, we'll keep it under wraps until it's good enough to publish. And then straight away, she's showing it off to the whole book club. I want you to read my book by my son, the greatest American novelist.
Tiki, again, I'm trying not to harp on. Yeah, I love how much this woman loves her son. I really do. It's really endearing. It's really nice. It's sweet. It's over the top. And it's wonderful. And of course, how does it not bring to mind Norma Bates?
Right.
Anyway,
so her dad is there for the ladies.
The great George Siegel. Oh,
She's like handing it out like, I'm so glad you love it already. Yay!
I love how we reveal Pops there, by the way.
Yeah.
He interjects, just he basically defends Joy, the book club. Joy has this thing where she's questioning, talking about like an actually published book. He says, "Oh no, Joy, you picked." I'm sorry, Elaine. It's undo it. Like the book's called Joy. It's one thing. Basically, Elaine is like questioning the book choice, and she's saying, "Oh, shut up, Elaine. Last book you made us read was the Joy Luck Club." Of course, then Pops defends it, trying to hit on everyone. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So, and she's authoritatively, she's
Yay!
she's very enthusiastic. She's just so enthusiastic. Okay.
All right, so we get more high school drama.
Yes, with Jeff.
I'm so like, if I would have watched season 3, I'd probably care way more about this, but alas.
Like an 80s bound Romeo and Juliet, Tiki. We don't know
right?
Courtship, Tiki. We don't know
I mean,
this.
I'm just saying, that song at the end of the episode makes it seem like a big deal. Anyways.
I'll bet you like the next week he's like, oh yeah, we're still not an item yet.
Oh god, right.
Anyway, so Erica learns Jeff can't go to the dance after Evie's Gam is hospitalized.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, well, she can't go with Evie. I forget whose Gam it is. I think it's
Evie's Gam.
Yeah, it has to be Evie because of the thing later on. Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right, let's see.
The lady's kind of like trying to hook up Erica and Jeff to go, as friends. Go as a couple's costume, as friends,
Yeah, she's been really helpful.
Uh-huh. And so we have a great transition. Again, this episode's full of really fun transitions where Erica's like, I'm going to make us the best Broadway quality costume with my own 2 hands. And then it instantly cuts to, look at this costume I bought with my own 2 hands.
That is really funny.
So,
she did body tremendously well, though.
Yeah, of course, Lainey is kind of questioning the morals of all this because essentially Erica is like, I'm calling it like it is. She's kind of being a homewrecker, as she'll get called later in the episode.
Yeah, but again, I like that. Lainey's still on her side though, because I'm your friend. I'm on your side.
It might be a little bit evil, but I'm down for it. Whatever.
Okay, let's see. So Bev is desperate for the praise to hear Adam praised at the book club.
I'm sorry, I can't get the image of Harold befriending the lunch lady on Hey Arnold out of my head now.
Oh, are you thinking of that? I'm thinking one of my favorite episodes. I'm thinking of the of Harold the Butcher, where he's trying to get chummy with the lunch lady.
Well, yes, it would be that episode. It would be like that episode, except it'd be with the lunch.
She shoots him down though.
Right.
He tries to strike up like a comment, like, "Hey, you work with
all right. I don't want to get off track. It's just like the Barry and the lunch lady thing. Just it calls to mind Hey Arnold.
Yeah. Anyway, back to good old Beverly.
Yes.
So Beverly is desperate for Adam's praise to hear.
This is priceless. Just the way this is shot and just the delivery of it.
Yeah. You want to take a step?
Yeah. So. It's like Al, or I'm sorry, who's his father? Her father's name? Pops. Yeah. So he's just like, it's clear that the soul-sucking monster in the story is you, Bev. I just don't see it. Well, her name's Beverly. She has blonde hair. She wears colorful sweaters. And then I love the timing on this. We just see like Bev, of course she's wearing the colorful sweater and her blonde hair. Like, yeah, and.
Again, she's just playing. And again, I'm sorry to go to the well here, but
Formiga.
We've seen her do this literally so many times where basically people are saying, "Hey, something wrong with Norman." No, he's fine. Like, who doesn't want breakfast at 3:00 in the morning?
Dragon, we can never podcast about this show on a regular basis because it would just be all Formiga references.
Yep. Also, speaking of the colorful sweater, I just want to strike up another Halloween trope. But aside from spiders, we have spiders reference here because she has like a giant spider-like torso.
Uh-huh.
But also, she has really great Halloween sweaters in this
episode. Yeah, for sure.
Just want to kind of chalk it up there. Okay, keep going.
Okay, let's see. So, so one of the women, she's like
Kemp, Kremp. That's her friend from the Christmas special.
Yeah, and she's reading a passage about the her child. Oh no one thinks you're a monster, Bev. Just your child. Your child thinks you're a vicious she-spider whose strength comes from children's blood and jazzercise.
Her children's blood and jazzercise.
My son once said my chicken was dry, and then I love how much this offends Beverly. Really, your chicken was dry. Get out. I love you, but get your ass out of here. Now tell me, again, I'm sorry to harp on it, but tell me that's not a Norma Bates delivery.
Of course, that's a Norma Bates delivery, but it's exaggerating. I love the fact that she genuinely is not picking up on it for herself. She is genuinely offended by the fact that her chicken is dry. That's how I read it. That she's asking her to get out, not because of just comparing it, but just saying, "Hey, get out. You have dry chicken. Not allowed in my house. Get out."
To me, I thought it was sort of the way I read it was that the dry chicken was like kind of small potatoes compared to like her son calling her a monster.
Tiki, that's fair, and that's probably the actual intention. Yeah. I'm just saying, I think my version it's funnier. I think if it happened that way.
Right.
Anyway, so let's see. So the minute company leaves, Murray, as in his typical fashion, very much like Frank Barone from another show. Murray.
Another show that we will not speak of or utter its name.
Unfortunately, it's just for safety's sake, we're not going to mention it. But folks, I don't want to risk it.
No, don't even tease it.
All right, so
that cost us such a headache.
All right. So the minute company leaves, Murray ditches his pants.
Yep.
As he tends to do. Let's see. So Bev is asking Murray. If basically asking for his opinions, or asking for Murray's opinion. He kind of takes a quick glance at it, reads a line. Blonde, angry, mean to waiters. Yep, that's you. Yep. No, actually, says, yep, this tracks. I just love the fact he's not even saying yes. It's just saying, yeah, this tracks. This sounds like you. Colorful sweaters, the neon lights, and more evidence. Just
So Bev's getting offended. She's like, you know what? I have a chicken. I have a shrimp farm to make. She murdered victims with promises of cheesy seafood casseroles. And then at this point, Bev snaps. She's like, yes, all right. We all know it's about me.
It's great time. It's a great performance. And by the way, take it real quick. Do you think it's cheesy as in cheese is used within the dish, or cheesy as in it's over the top?
Oh, I want to say cheese is used within the dish.
All right.
Because it's Parmesan. That's literally what a Parmesan is.
Right, I forgot the Parmesan. I didn't write that. Yeah. You're right. I'm sorry. Let's continue. Yeah, you're right. That's why cheesy is down. Okay, moving on. So, Erica.
Yeah.
She's horrified.
Take us through it, man. Take us through it.
Erica is horrified that Gam Gam made a full recovery.
Yep.
So, which means
it seems.
No date again for Erica. Womp womp. Barry again. So she goes back to the Nate story, and she's, oh yeah, sure, Nate can go with me. Yeah, sure. And then of course Evie then interjects, basically saying, this is kind of creepy. And I got to tell you, this kind of reminds me of Riverdale. And Tiki, you really got to watch Riverdale. The first season's on Netflix, and season 2 is.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I ever stopped. It just things.
It was good. I'm on board.
I'm sure it was.
The one thing, though, the reason I bring it up is that the notable thing, the one thing is maybe not be. Again, it's polarizing, so I don't know how everyone feels about it, but it's the parents are quite kind of sadistic and crazy at times.
That's what I've heard.
And I'm based on that. It just sounds like there's a lot of conspiracy elements, and this kind of feels like that we have some. She reminds me a lot. Let's just say she reminds me a lot of Cheryl Blossom.
Okay. Oh
Cheryl
God.
Blossom. And this Evie girl in this scene, here's what she does here. Reminds you, especially in season 2 so far, she reminds you so much of Blossom. Where she basically reveals that, yes, Gam Gam is actually in a medically induced coma. I know you're up to, you little homewrecker. And then we have, this is, you got to admit, even though the Erica stuff may not be as thrilling, but the stuff associated with the Erica story, like with Barry later on, especially.
Well, Barry definitely saves the Erica storyline.
Yeah.
No one can deny that.
But this scene too is just really funny to me. It's just
Oh,
basically the soft but threatening cheek battle.
yes, that was very.
And you know, like dude, basically she's doing kind of like she's stroking her cheek, and then basically then they're doing the shush.
No one treats my cheek in a soft but threatening manner. Only I do that.
Yeah, then we have a random gag, and this Tiki absolutely has
That
to
is
be.
it's a totally random gag. It comes out of freaking nowhere.
It has to be like a running gag within the show that we're not aware of. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, like just like I don't know, like are these like the stoner kids or what? I don't.
Basically, we have two kids. One's in a Rush shirt. The other one is, she's just an '80s styled girl. And basically, they're commenting, saying, "Oh man, I thought it was going to escalate into a fight."
Let's go smash some pumpkins, bro. Yeah. I think you're right, Dragon. I'm guessing that's a running joke we're not in the know of.
It's either that or it's a really obscure '80s movie reference that we are not picking up on. It's one of those two, I'll bet you. Anyway.
All right. Oh, so here we go.
Oh, here's the awesome Halloween sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bevan, her awesome Halloween sweater, she starts, she stops Adam from trick-or-treating so he can rewrite the story.
And I love how sweet she is about it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have some rewriting to do, sweetie.
And again, very much like Kathy Bates.
Oh god, she is definitely okay, for all the Formiga channeling, in this scene she is very much channeling Kathy Bates.
Yeah, like she has to, and of course ordinarily she's Formiga. In this case she has to channel Kathy Bates, which I think she does an amazing job. This woman's got it all, Tiki. So,
all right, so basically she's saying the book club, not me, mind you, the book club has some concerns about the main character. They think Beverly should be more kind and snuggly.
I literally wrote in my notes, Tiki, and you're probably about to beat me by 1 second here, but it's more it basically wants to make it more Farmiga-esque.
Yeah.
That's what I really wrote in my notes. That's what essentially she wants the role to be revised to.
All right, A&E's okay, Formiga, let's do Misery as an A&E show now. Could you imagine?
Oh god.
I could imagine. I really could.
Yeah, I mean, you get Formiga down, Tiki, I'm sold for all the DVD sets in advance.
I've heard good things about The Good Doctor too, by the way.
I've been watching it.
Yeah, anyways.
I recommend it. I told you to check it out.
I know you have. I know. Anyways.
Anyway, yes, she gestures the. This is a great pull, Tiki. Again, they captured Misery so well, where basically she gestures the computer just like the typewriter from.
No, I'm not
Misery.
a writer, but do that exactly. Come on now, typey.
Oh god, that Adam's calling her out. I love Adam calls her out, and you figured it out, didn't you? He's cutting through it. He's just cutting through it, you know.
Oh come on page 2, you called Beverly.
Change it and make me great mama. Make me a great mama.
And then this is great. Adam's you realize what you're doing, right? You're miserying me.
It's a great line. And then
oh god, can I do it? Do it. What?
Do it.
Okay.
Go on.
Oh, Squishy, you can leave whenever you want once you fix the story. Now stop with the cock-a-doodie attitude and get to work. And I love how she interjects a random, yay!
It's just, oh god. I love to see an alternate, I'm absolutely with it. I love to see an alternate version of Misery. If not starring her, then definitely starring Vera Farmiga. But regardless, starring one of these two fine actresses.
Right.
Oh god, just they're all last. Also, is Adam in costume yet? Because I can't remember if he's in costume.
He's in the clown costume, but he doesn't have the head on yet.
And we'll get to that later. Let's put a pin in that. Okay. So, Lainey, Lainey checks in with her old pal Erica. Erica is I love that she's watching Dracula, of course. Here's some connective glue, folks. Dracula. Little Bela Lugosi Dracula, sure. Watching the classics. Especially, I love the sense that makes in the 80s, of course, we don't have the slasher movies. They're just starting in the 80s, to be honest.
Right.
So they wouldn't really be on TV quite yet. So Dracula, of course, would be kind of the go-to at that time before your Freddy Krueger's and your, all that stuff. Anyway, so she's eating ice cream alone. She's very much kind of in a depressed Barry state. So Lainey brings by Nate to go to the dance, and I love the Tiki. This is such a great subversion of the '80s trope right here. You know, the whole like, it's kind of 16,
right, yeah.
It's like the 16 candles of it all, like like a make a wish, it's already come true. It's sort of that sort of moment, but
like this guy, like at first I thought this joke was a little mean spirited, but yeah, you're absolutely right, Dragon. It is very much playing on that trope.
Yeah, getting ready to go. Hey, look who's gonna go to the dance with you, until he backs out. No, we'll just.
He literally takes one look at her and he's like, no, just no.
Now again, I don't think it's mean spirited because she's eating the ice cream and everything. I think she's in such a she's in such kind of a given up state. I think it's just like I don't know. I think it's more of that than just like she's unattainable or anything.
Sure.
So let's see. Then of course we have the oh yes, he had a Halloween dental emergency. No, he didn't.
No Halloween dental emergency, is there?
No, and I love how sad they're mirroring each other here. I'm the berry, you're the berry.
You're the berry. The berry rushes in. I heard my name. I hope it's in a good context.
God. So, by the way, I just want to say I love the. I really liked Lainey. She was we were introduced to Lainey in the Christmas episode. And yeah, she's a good character. Yeah, so Barry enters in a monkey suit, more accurately, a gorilla suit.
We both agreed to go to Harry and the Hendersons.
This gag, I know it's I don't want to say it's a 1%. I know it's like not everyone's gonna get this gag. This is like a deep rooted '80s gag, but I tell you, I love this. I love the cleverness of this here. Basically, we're going to Harry and the Hendersons. Where Barry, being the wonderfully stupid character he is, somehow confused it or sold her on it with When Harry Met Sally. That like the modern audience, like the kids today, they may not like pick up on that, but I really appreciated that. The whole when Harry Met Sally meets when Harry meets Harry and the Hendersons. That's a fun gag.
And I'm looking it up right now. There's actually no Sally Henderson in Harry and the Hendersons.
No, I could have told you that. Yeah, there's
no Sarah Henderson.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just saying again, it's so ridiculous. It's so funny. So anyway, let's see. So she tells, basically, Lainey plays the hero of the special. She tells Barry, "Do the couple's costume with your sister," which, of course, in some level is kind of pathetic, but a sweet gesture nonetheless. Mm-hmm. And again, importantly, Lainey's covering this, saying, "Oh no, Barry's going to be hidden. The whole face will be covered." Now, I just assumed he was going to go as Harry from the Hendersons, or more accurately, a gorilla.
I mean, that would have been a lot easier than what they come up with in hindsight.
Well, I mean, she had the costume, so she wanted to make use of it. I mean, she bought it, so yeah,
right.
And also, she wanted the Nate lie to hold up, so she had to kind of put him in.
That's true.
Either way, so then, oh god, now Tiki, for the audience out there, is short of a show like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, have I laughed this hard at something? That show's like I'm convinced, like, if there was a Joker in this world for me, Tiki, that Joker created. Mike Schurz might be my Joker because he created Brooklyn Nine-Nine just to kill me with laughter. In this case, Adam F. Goldberg might have pulled from the same thing here because he's this Barry gag. I was dying laughing.
Go ahead, take us through it.
So we have Barry as Audrey, I believe, as the plant from Rocky Horror Picture. Not crap. From darn, I keep mixing the two up. Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep screwing up. Yes, Little Shop of Horrors. Barry as the plant from Little Shop of Horrors is hilarious because he's got this, as you can see in the image, folks. That's Barry in that suit. It's a good looking suit, and then he's in that suit. And basically, imagine this, folks. Fortunately, we don't have the power of gifts, but imagine this. Imagine the mouth just working exactly like a Muppet would, basically as a wonderfully puppeteered proper. Basically, every time Barry speaks in his wonderfully stupid voice, just the mouth moves in unison, almost in unison with the dialogue. So it is talking with that over the top voice coming from this iconic '80s plant character, and he literally says, "I'm no one's puppet." Just 20 seconds, always looking like a puppet. Oh god. I don't know if it's actually as funny as I enjoyed it to be, but I don't know, I think it's really funny.
I got a good chuckle out of it.
So let's see. So the siblings bicker again, and they're bickering. They have kind of a fun censorship gag. He's getting, "You want to fight?" And Yeah, I just even get some bleeped out dialogue. You mess with the wrong bleep. They're starting to fight, and of course, Lainey breaks it up. And then, of course, basically Barry's kind of making us think about, no, I'm going to lord this over her head, like all the stuff she said about me before I met you, Lainey. And, of course, basically as he's trying to make, I'm going to do a little victory dance. Ooh! He's about to do a little victory dance with a little plant and everything. He's looking all adorable and cutesy and muppety. And they point this out to him. He says, and he has this beautiful line, imagine the mouth moving with this great costume here, folks.
Right.
Everything I do in this costume fights my agenda.
God. Again, like the more serious Barry is in the costume, the funnier it is.
It's great. Also, we kind of glazed over this, and again, I don't know if she's supposed to be someone else, but to me, it looks exactly like she's like Erica is dressing as her mother for Halloween, and honestly, it looks flawless. She looks. Just like
she's supposed to be the character from Rocky Horror, but
really?
Or not? No, I'm sorry. I did it. You have me doing it. The character from Little Shop. Really, Andre looks like that in Little Shop. It's been ages since I'm sorry. I have never watched it all the way through. I've watched the clips of it, so it's kind of get into that. But seriously, doesn't she look like Beverly though? I mean, yeah, she does. She does. I'm saying with the wig on, she looks kind of very similar to her mother. It's kind of good casting, the whole daughter-mother thing. Anyway, let's see. So Murray handles trick-or-treating, and here's another connecting little thread for our little show here. We have Garfield. Yes, we do. And this attention I appreciate so much with the 80s setting because they have like the old, the cheap, crappy, lame costumes from the Ben Cooper. I want to say the Ben Cooper era. I forget. Famously, like usually the guys did the mask. Like, let's say you had a Batman costume, it would say on the forehead, Batman. Right. Like one of those costumes where basically it was like, it looks like it's a mask like Batman, but it's just, why do we need to overstate it here? It has like the lame 80s. All of them are the exact same manner. Basically, it says like Garfield either on the face or like a shirt that says Garfield instead of looking like Garfield. Mm-hmm. We have Garfield, a Care Bear, and a G.I. Joe, and just Murray's he's so cheap with the candy. He's like, oh, I turned the sprinkles on everything. Okay, he usually tosses one piece of candy at the three trick-or-treaters. I think he gets to the Care Bear, and why not Garfield, man? Everyone loves Garfield. Anyway. Right. So then, of course, Adam sneaks down as Pennywise the Dancing Clown. The Tim Curry one. Yes. What a nice boot, Georgie. Do you want it back? I'm sorry, I could quote Pennywise all day. That was a big running thing with Ezra and I during our trip. But anyways, everything's down here, Georgie. Did you hear our story of the Goofy? Did you watch that podcast? No. Oh, you should. You should. We have a really good Goofy story. Anyways. Anyway. You mean it like Goofy as in silly, or you mean Goofy as in the character? I mean as in the character. Good. That sounds more interesting. Okay, so Adam as Pennywise makes his escape, and of course this is so well directed, Tiki. It really is. So we mirror misery so well in this ridiculous set. You're basically after he sneaks out. Of course, Murray just not caring at all. Like he said, okay, listen, Mom comes by, tell her I wasn't. He's okay, just walk away then. Okay, that's helpful. So then basically he leaves. He's about to squeeze some trick or treating, sneak out, and very much like the James Caan character in Misery, she returns home early from the store to get more paper. And now Adam he goes to he's like struggling to get back up the steps because he like twisted his ankle. He twisted his ankle and basically kind of tripped, and now he has to crawl his way up, and it's so well directed. So, and while we mirror the shot so well, Tiggy, where we cut to like our heels kind of making their way up the stairs, and of course he knocks over the photo cube, the dreaded photo cube. And of course, then it seemingly he's gotten away with it, but of course then she calls him on it because of the photo cube. The photo cube gave him away because being Adam's biggest fan in the world, she shows, I have your adorable little picture here always facing a certain way, and instead, Barry. That might be some of the best timing of the episode was the Barry reveal. I love that they're all bad photos, by the way. Yeah. It's like Adam's it's like a horrible photo to use for Adam, but she loves it anyway, and Barry's just he's so happy in the photo. And importantly in this conversation, she's holding one of those like cooking mallets.
Yeah, like a mincer or something. Like the thing you heat the meat with. So, yeah. So again, of course, we know how the movie goes, where it's at a certain point in mystery. I want to say after these. No, it was before.
I think it's pretty early on.
Yeah, it has to be Where basically, of course, she takes the kneecaps out.
Don't break my ankles. I'm not going to break your ankles. I'm making you a pumpkin pie. I need to smash up all the pumpkin bits.
Well, that's very thoughtful.
So what I love about this is that, like, as the Stephen King misery stuff is going on and it's totally legitimate, like, she's being a ridiculously good mom at the same time.
Yep. Of course, trick-or-treating, the clown costume, and pumpkin pie. That's more Thanksgiving, but, we'll count it anyways, pumpkin, so,
It's the season.
Yeah.
Pumpkin pie is more just like a fall thing.
It's the season to be scary, folks. Anyway. All right, so, yes, very thoughtful. Of course, he can have some once he's finished reading the story. Meanwhile, Erica.
Yeah, so Jeff, I guess, is impressed by the costume.
Because they outshine the crap out of those two.
Yeah. And this is Barry at the height, I think, where Barry's just like, where am I? Am I at the dance yet?
Because they're trying to pass him off as mute, but of course he's like an idiot. He's just he reminds me, honestly, he kind of reminds me of Hopper's brother from A Bug's Life. He reminds me of God, was it Molt?
I can see that.
Anyway, yes. Really funny.
Where am I going? This plant is hard to steer.
Of course, Laney's trying to usher him off just to kind of quail him. I think Erica so far is the belle of the ball between the groups. Let's see. So, okay. So again, seeing the things are going well, and of course, in an '80s fashion, Barry he falls at the punch table and foolishly unmasks himself.
Yep.
Erica flees because, of course, she is suffering the shame of, oh my God, she brought her brother as her date. Bum bum bum. So.
All right, so Bev is going over the newly revised version of the story.
With Pops.
Pops, yes. Pops is not so impressed.
The ending gag is hilarious. Where Bev praises out of all the things she praised. Oh, don't you love the ending where the kids let her move in with them? It's like every obsessive mother's dreams.
My favorite line from Pops here is, did you even see the cover? Schmoopy loves mommy. That's a very off-putting title.
Yeah, well, he basically he calls her out. This is wrong, Beverly. Look at this. This is wrong. The old story was better. You inspired him. And then, of course, she basically turns into like a kind of a self-adulation-filled compliment. Are you saying it's kind of Miss Piggy, like I gotta say. It's like, are you saying
my baby loves and honors me?
I'm his muse.
Words.
I'm his muse. I didn't really say that. It's actually Stephen King is his muse. Seriously. Yeah. No Weberly. She goes to make it right. Basically, I'm gonna go make it right. She's all prancy about it. Meanwhile, Erica's down. Understandably.
I think we can kind of yada past this scene because, like I said, it feels like a big build up to something that we weren't really a part of.
Yeah, just the boil down. Erica's down. She's the Barry gag. She has a nice little scene with Barry before we get that. So she's told, yeah, you're the me. It's not bad being the you. But also they have like the whole Jeff cheers. Jeff basically cheers Erica up by suddenly seeing more. That's how that goes. And it's like, okay, they're still friends, but there's something there.
And like I said, it's a very tropey, like sitcom, like, oh, you will they, won't they? Ooh.
It feels very Full House, I gotta tell you. It feels
it
like
does, yeah.
Hey, Steve has to give DJ a pick me up after things blew up in her face.
Right.
Or like, where's that music for Bob Saget to kind of usher a speech in with? Anyways, yes. So, Erica and Barry have their moment. The whole you got a plan for me. Being Barry is okay. And Barry's back on the dance floor. They go back on the dance floor, having a good time. Meanwhile, Beverly and Adam, They Beverly amazingly got Stephen King's address because she's no Simientos in Maine. It's a cute gag. She sent the Beverly story, and I sent the original.
I hate it so much, but it's good.
That's really nice. She encourages Adam's writing, and they have a hug, and we have the great Patton Oswalt kind of. Yeah, of course, the narrator. I don't know, kind of glazed over that. It's only the second episode we've done. I believe so. I might as well just say it again. Patton Oswalt's the narrator, and we love that. At least I love it.
Patton Oswalt has a Netflix special out, a new one.
I watched it.
Yeah, I've heard from Kyle Decker that it's super good.
Yeah, I think you'd really like it. It's really
yeah, I definitely. I need to make a point to check it out for sure. Yeah. Anyway,
yes. So basically, Patton also kind of delivers the sentiment of us. We kind of check in with our stories here, kind of see how it all kind of finished out, kind of morals, if you will. Let's see. So basically, we put it on disguise. I'm sorry. Do you have any you want to look through?
I don't have the whole speech. It's basically like you said, like we put on disguises, but basically the
people who
all I have is that the best stories are the ones that come from home. That's kind of like the message of the speech. I don't have much else than that. Sorry.
Yeah, and actually, you put on disguises. The people who love you kind of know that you're underneath, know what's going on the inside. The best stories come from a real place, home. Which of course we cut to two of them hugging in the house. We just kind of went around for the other stuff, and then of course. Dedicate the end of the episode. I want to say just based on the Christmas episode we watched. I'm going to assume every episode ends with this because you got to remember Adam F. Goldberg, of course, is the series creator. Adam himself,
right.
Dedicated to Stephen King, which is nice. And of course, we see some home movies. I want to say of Adam, basically saying Skeleton Crew is like the best book, and of course the book drops and he's all spooked by it.
I will say that Skeleton Crew is a very good. It's not technically it's a collection of short stories, but it is very good.
And then we have the post-credit gag. Yeah, you want to take us through?
Yes. So Murray is in the bathroom. He's trying to find his Sports Illustrated. Come on, don't make me read the shampoo bottle. But instead, he finds Cujo. Oh, this ought to hold me over for about 9 to 16 minutes.
I love that he has it timed.
Oh, God. And then, he walks out, I assume sometime later.
Yes, and there's a dog in the hall. Again, this is stuff I don't know if someone has a dog in this show. We don't watch it enough, folks. We're sorry, but there's a dog. We're bad. We know. So there's a dog in the hallway, and of course, I love the fact we don't end it on like a big gag. I love that it's the subtle creepy thing.
Yeah, I agree. It's just like he's
thrown off,
creeped out by the dog.
He's intimidated. Like the dog is this small dog has intimidated this large mountain of a man. Who's also Larry David's agent. But yeah,
all right. So you want to go over the tropes really quick?
Yeah, sure. Of course, the Stephen King of it all, kind of horror novels. We got like a creepy bookshelf at the beginning. We have Halloween sweaters. Well, list off a few.
Handmade costumes. The Halloween dance.
Professional costumes as well.
Right.
And a whole list of Stephen King books referenced as well. Of course, Misery of it all.
Pumpkin carving, of course.
Pennywise. The crappy costumes, the old crappy Ben Cooper-esque costumes.
Gambling around the holidays, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay. All right, final thoughts, Dragon. Go ahead.
I had a lot of fun with this. I really did. It's really funny. Again, that Barry scene just cracks me up. It just kills me. It's so funny. But again, I think it's a nice testament to Stephen King. It has a nice kind of thing about the creative spirit of writers, and also kind of pulling from real life and kind of looking maybe some consequence of that. It's a good little moral about that. And of course, Beverly, she's just, as always, she's fantastic. The Erica stuff, again, the Barry stuff, I think saves the Erica stuff. And I'm with you. It's the weak sauce compared to the other stuff. But it is what it is. And I had a blast with it. I really did.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page. It's a very fun episode. I don't think it holds up on its own quite as well as the Christmas one did, because the Christmas one I really didn't feel like I had to see anything else. And with this one, like I said, especially with the stuff with the Jeff character just very much seemed like, oh, there's a history here that we don't really know about. Other than that, though, it's a very solid episode. You know, Beverly is just absolutely on her A game. You know, and of course, as we said, Barry is kind of like a good sort of saving grace of some of the episode. And I think the Stephen King stuff was in there just enough for it to not be overbearing, you know what I mean? They used it in a very good way. So overall, I was very satisfied with it, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Dragon, so the next thing we're covering on Hijinks, just to go with the theme of kind of teasing it, is we're going to go with something in the stop-motion style, Dragon. We're going to go with an animated stop-motion movie. The question is, what studio? Is it Aardman? Is it Laika? It could even be a Tim Burton stop-motion movie.
Ooh.
You'll just have to wait to find out, folks. And I guess that concludes our selection for the evening. But don't you worry. Our spirits growing...
Maybe not, but don't...
What?
Maybe not, but don't you worry. Just are.
All right. Our spirits grow weary, but don't you worry. They'll be stronger than ever next time as we engage in even more haunted holiday hijinks. This plant is hard to steer.